Hi, I'm Colin from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and this is the handover on the Malibu semi-integrated T430. So as we start, we'll walk around on the driver's side of the vehicle first. So this Carthago key does all your lockers, locks your habitation door and unlocks it. I'll do all your lockers. So in here you have a small compartment which is lined, plastic lined. You've got your two fridge vents and your boiler flue, so just make sure this isn't obstructed by putting an awning on. Make sure it's got circulation around it, and you've got your mains connectivity point. So to hook the vehicle up, get the hooker blade, always hook the vehicle up first and then the sight, and do it in reverse when unhooking the vehicle. So at the back you've got your garage, so again using the same key, you go up to unlock and across to lock. So make sure they're both in the up positions, and you pull the handles, and in here you've got your carpets, your winding handle for your awning. It's heated by the Truma heater, and you've got a light in here so you can turn on and off should the electric be on from inside. Pushing the catches locks it. So at the back you've got your high level brake light with your rear view camera, reverse camera on the top. Same gouge on the side, and then here is your LPG, so looking petroleum gas, it's your gas locker. So you've got two bottles in here, two 6 kilogram propanes. The pigtail is just a hand tighten, and then you turn on and off at the top of the bottle. It's a changeover valve, so you just move it from one bottle to the other. Obviously green showing that the gas is working. Make sure the bottle is strapped in and turned off when travelling. And then should this little yellow nib pop out on the Truma regulator, just push it in and that allows the gas through into the vehicle. You've got your water, so this is your fresh water filler, again opens with a key. So I would just advise going to buy a hose pipe and some hose connections, as it's just a brass tap on site. Put your hose pipe in there and filter the lever overflows until you're happy you've got enough water on board. You can't see how much water you've got on the main control panel. And then you've got your cassette loo, so pushing and opening. Make sure first of all to get the cassette with the blade shut on the bottom bowl of the toilet. You'll be able to lift, slide out. Got some wheels there so you can wheel it to your disposal site, which is normally behind or beside your toilet block. Unscrew the cap, press the button and tip out, and then put some water in, give it a shake, tip out again, and then if you're using the liquid form of chemical, cap falls straight into here, it's good to go. If you're using the tablet form, you put a pint of water into the cassette and drop the tablet down into the cassette, which breaks up into the liquid. And then at the front you've got a large storage locker which has got through loading, so you can see the double floor with the storage in the middle, and it can go right the way at the back. Now at the passenger door you've got your diesel filler, which opens with the main ignition key, and then you've got your AdBlue. Because it's a new Euro 6D compliant engine, it takes AdBlue, so when the AdBlue light comes on, it'll come out on between the fuel and the temperature gauge on the main instrument cluster, and then you simply just fill up, and it's a 19 litre tank. Tire pressures are on the door panel, so 5.5 bar, which is 79.5 psi. You've got all your main fuses for your 12 volt system underneath your passenger seat, so it would be a good idea to carry some spare blade fuses. And your engine battery lives underneath the floor here, so should you ever need to change it in the future, you'd have to pull it out through the cab floor, and you've got your bonnet release on the side of the dashboard. Tyre inflation kit is in the door pocket. Underneath the bonnet you've got your fluids to the left hand side, so you've got your screen wash. This lifts off, it gives you access to the power steering and radiator fluid. You've got your brake fluid, your oil filler and dipstick, which is just down here. Paint code on the slam panel, so 549 is your paint code. You've got an earth here, and you've got your positive here for giving or receiving a jump start. So once inside the vehicle, to lock the door you just push the chrome catch in like so, and then you can just pull it to open, but push back to lock. And then above it you've got your main 12-volt control panel. Here indicates that we are hooked up and on mains electric 240, so your 3-pin plugs throughout the vehicle will work. You've got your on-off button, you've got your water pump which you can turn on and off to use water. Obviously if you've got no water on board, don't put your pump on because you'll fry it out. This turns on the head unit should you want the head unit to use the leisure battery to listen to the radio, or you want your TV on. You must have the music icon on. And then you do have all your interior lights. And then this side you've got your leisure battery reading, which is the battery at the back of the van, leisure battery. Fresh water, which is showing it's 25% full. Wastewater is 25% full. And you've got the battery at the front of the vehicle, which is of course your engine battery, which is near enough 13 volts. Coming across you've got your Truma digital control panel. So you'd press and hold to turn on and off. You'll get this screen and you press enter to enter the menu. You've got in the far left hand corner the vehicle with the thermometer in. This is how hot you want your motorhome to be, so you can go have it all the way to off if it was the summer and you didn't want to heat the motorhome, or you can have it all the way up to 30 degrees should it be too cold. Once you're happy with the temperature, if you just press enter, it'll preset the temperature to 20 degrees like it has there. Now you've got the water, so how hot you want the water. Again, if you've got no water in the boiler, don't have the water on, as it's just like boiling a kettle without any water in. You'll burn the element out. So you've got off, you've got eco, which is 40 degrees, hot, which is 60 degrees if heating your water, and boost will turn off the heating to prioritise the water first. So for this we'll just say hot. Moving on, you've got the source, so you've got gas on its own if you're wild camping and you didn't have any 240 hookup. You've got a mixture of 1 kilowatt of electric and gas, a mixture of 2 kilowatts in electric and gas, and of course doubles the source, so this is very good for the winter if you're in desperate need of heating or hot water. And then obviously you've got electric on 1 kilowatt and electric on 2. You'd use electric on 2 on most sites, electric on 1s for the smaller CL sites abroad, or if they're giving you a lower current of electricity. Then you've got the fan, so how high you want the fan to go when it's on. So you can have it on eco, which it's a 12 volt assisted fan, so saves a bit of the 12 volt. Or you can have it on high, and obviously you'll hear it kick up when it's on. So for this we'll just say high. And then coming down to the bottom left hand corner you've got a timer, so you can time the heating to come on and off should I say. You've got the time displayed on the main control panel, and then if you ever got a warning triangle you go to the settings, which is in the far right hand corner, and go to preset, click on here and reset the heating, which then you'll have to reset all of this again, so temperature, water, source, fan, and then to turn off you just press and hold. Coming in the kitchen area, you've got 3 gas lit rings there, so allow it to cool before you put the cooker hood down. You've got your sink cover, which also acts as a bit of a shelf, so you can stand it in there or put them into here depending on what you wanted to use them for. And of course if you turn them over, act a bit as a chopping board. Lights and a 3-pin plug. To open all the cupboards you just press down and release the travel catch. You've got storage up here, big storage drawer, cutlery drawer, and there's 3 gas taps there for the hob, the water, the boiler, so the water system and your fridge. So any problems with gas you can't isolate here, but I would advise turning the bottle off to be safe. These are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced in line with the gas check. And this is just showing that your water pump's working and your water's getting lovely and warm there. To operate your Dometic styled fridge with freezer compartment, you've got your on off button here, which turns the fridge on and off. And then A stands for automatic energy selection, so the brain of the fridge picks what best source it has on offer. So at the moment we're hooked up and we've got the gas on, but it's known not to waste gas, so it's when to hook up, which is this one here. If I was to take the hookup out, it would go to the gas symbol, which self-ignites, so no need to try and spark ignite your fridge. Just self ignites, does its own thing. And then if I was to start the engine, it will go to the battery setting, which is from the engine battery alternator, and is designed to keep the fridge at the previous temperature it was set at before. So if you're lucky enough to keep this at home, hook the van up a few days before you go away. The night before, put your shopping in, allow everything to chill, and then obviously if it was on automatic, it would automatically switch over to battery, or you can manually turn it off automatic. And obviously it's failed there because we are stationary. Put onto gas, it self ignites, or you can put back onto A, which will go on back onto hookup. But if you're traveling from site to site, that's when you can use the battery setting as well. You've got your temperature here, and then you've got your reset for the fridge should it fail. But the thing with the automatic is, it will fail once you knock the engine off and you don't hook up and it goes to gas, because it's designed to wait 20 minutes before lighting on gas. Because if you pull into a petrol station and you've left your gas open, obviously it's not going to find mains power, and it's not going to find hookup 12 volts, sorry, but it's going to find gas it couldn't light at the fuel station. So if you want to put onto gas, manually put onto gas before switching it back over to automatic after 20 minutes. And then once you finish with it in the season, clean it out, pull this catch forward. It stops the door from shutting on itself and stops any mold growing in your fridge. So at the back of the van, you've got your twin single beds, but you can make a double bed across by sliding this forward. Slides the board out, lift the board over, and then you'd use the infill cushion here into there, and you can sleep across the vehicle should you not want to use it as two singles. Got storage in the steps. And you can lift these up as well and open the door. But here you've got your wardrobe on both sides. But on this side, obviously this is all your world of sleep stuff, which was an option with the vehicle. You've got your 240 trips. So should you trip the vehicle out with a kettle or a toaster or anything, or a hairdryer, you can try here before you try your main side post. And you've got a wardrobe on this side as well. Underneath this floor hatch is how you would drain your fresh water system off. So should you've taken on contaminated water, or you want to drain it down for the season to stop anything freezing in the plastic tanks and pipes, this here you just turn and open. So you can open it 3/4 and let some water out, and it'll leave 20 litres in the tank, or you can open all the way and it'll drain it fully. Now in your washroom area, so you've got your toilet. So to operate your toilet, make sure the pump's on. Press the blue button here, which will flush the toilet. Always flush the toilet before use, lubricates the blade, and then slide to the right, which opens the blade. Use the toilet with the blade open, then flush after use and slide to the left, which isolates the blade and allows you to get it out the cassette, out the outside of the vehicle to empty the cassette should you need to. On here as well, you'll get a light when the cassette is full and requires to be changed. Got your light here, toiletry cabinet. Shower screens are just pinned back by these straps to stop them flying about when travelling. And then when winterizing, if you remove your shower head from your hose and allow your hose to lie down in your shower tray, any water that's gathered in there will just drain that directly out into the waste tank, which will be open, and leave all your mixer taps in the open position. To open your skylight, press the button in, slide along, or slide into the grooves should you want a bit of ventilation. And you've got a fly screen and a blackout blind on there for on an evening. So to operate your Alphatronics TV, so what you need to do is, there's a little clip that you need to release. So the telly will slide away like so. Like that. Pull this little black button here, releases it, slides it down. And then on the remote, if you go to menu, so each time you move from site to site, you will have to retune your TV because it'll be picking up a different signal band. So you press menu, you go down to auto search, and you can press do an auto search and find as many channels as you can where you are on site. But you must ensure to get the TV on that you've got the music icon on the panel here, otherwise it won't work. And there is a master switch just underneath as well to turn it off from standby. Underneath the floor compartment here, so if you release these coach bolts, lift up, obviously you've got access to your through loading from outside, which is all lined. But in here, this is how you empty your waste. So any water or should I say any liquid you've put down your plug holes, so no matter if it's shower, kitchen sink or hand basin, all goes into one waste holding tank. So you just open and it'll drain your wastewater off. Normally on a site you would drive over a grade, the motorhome service bay, and drop this off. And obviously in the winter you don't want any water left in the vehicle, so you'd make sure the fresh was drained at the back, the waste was drained, and then I'll get onto these two. You've got your hot water valve, so this just allows any water that's in the fresh water hot water system out. And then you've got your boiler, which is a 10-litre boiler on old motorhomes, but you must drain them off, and because they aren't covered under frost damage for the warranty. What you need to do is turn it like that, the button will pop out. When it goes across the vehicle, the water will drain directly underneath the chassis, so make sure the button pops out, make sure the diamond's front to back. It'll drain the 10 litres directly off underneath the chassis. And you leave that open during the time you have it in storage. Leave all the taps open, remove your shower head. Then when you are ready to use it, shut all this, shut the waste, the fresh at the back, fill with water, shut all your taps, come in, put the power on, put the pump on, go to the cold side of the tap first, you'll get automatic cold water. Go to the hot side, it'll cough, splutter, make all sorts of noises. Don't be alarmed by it, it's normal. And what that's doing is it's pushing the fresh water from the freshwater tank that's underslung into the boiler that's located into your vehicle, and filling it with the 10 litres of water until it gets pressurised through all the taps. You do kitchen, shower and hand basin tap, just to make sure that all the system was pressurised, ready for the season. Above your lounge area you've got a skylight which opens by a winding handle, so when it's showing the red in the tabs it's indicating it's shut. Unscrew, wind, and you can open your skylight and then wind the other way, and when that red little line comes it indicates it is closed. Blackout blind and the fly screen for when you've got it shut on an evening or open during the day. On the front here, this one just opens manually like all the windows, so push the tabs in, push it out and use the tighten these to keep the window open and ajar. But obviously if it is strong winds, don't open your skylights or your windows. And of course when you're traveling, make sure that everything is secure and shut, because they are just plastic and a gust of wind will just rip them off the vehicle, and they're very expensive to replace. And again, blackout blind and fly screen.